Hello, and welcome to the Student Organization Spending Orientation. If you are watching this, you know that your organization has received funding and want to learn more on how to spend it. My name is Randy Myers, and I am the Student Organization's Program Manager in the Office of Student Engagement. I am the advisor to the Student Organization Funding Board. Also on my team is Ambika Murali. She is the club funding assistant this year. You can contact Ambika or I with any questions, and we are here to help you spend your funding and carry out the decisions of the funding board. First and most important, please make sure to register your student organization. Registration opened on August 1st, and the priority deadline to register is September 30th. If you are not registered at all during the 2021 academic year, you cannot spend or request funding. And if your registration is not submitted by September 30th at 11:59 p.m., your club can and will lose any approved funding that you received in the spring. If you follow the link on this slide, it'll take you to the Cats Connect resource page where you will find the registration guides. Please note that you will need to choose between re-registering your club or registering a brand new club. If you're watching this, this means you've been allocated a portion of funding from the funding board. You can review your applications at any time by logging into Cats Connect, going to your finance tab, and then budget requests. Anything on your proposed application, you are able to spend your allocated funding on. The only exception is if an item was specifically redlined by the funding board. Here are the 4 ways you can spend funding through OSE. We have an office credit card, reimbursements, invoices, and then gas cards and car rentals. Using the OSE credit card, this is the most preferred method. You must plan ahead and fill out the OSE order form on Cats Connect. We will not give you the credit card to use. The items you wish to purchase must be ordered online or the ability to pay over the phone. Here are some examples. Ordering food off campus, so ordering through Domino's or Papa John's. Reserving transportation for competitions or conference travel. Online orders. The biggest advantages with this is avoiding to pay money out of your pocket up front, and everybody is paid immediately. No submitting receipts for reimbursement, no waiting on a check. Paperwork needed is a receipt within 24 hours of purchase. Reimbursements. This is when you pay out of pocket and then submit the receipt to the university to get paid back. This is the least preferred method because it takes a long time. It can take up to 4 to 6 weeks. You must submit your receipts within 30 days of the transaction, no exceptions. This is how it works. You pay for the item or service out of pocket, either with your money or with the club's private bank account. You submit the paperwork to us. The check is made out to your organization, and then the check is deposited in your club's bank account. Then you can pay back that individual if you need to. The paperwork needed for this is a W-9 from the club. You may already have this on file. If you don't know, you can contact me and I can help you find out. Direct deposit is an optional, but it tends to get your check to you a little faster. We will need an itemized receipt and then the purchase request form on Cats Connect. Invoices. OSE will pay bills on your behalf. All campus vendors will invoice you, except for University Printing and Blank Canvas. One change from last year is that OSE will pay off-campus vendors only if we can pay over the phone or if they accept credit cards otherwise. We will no longer be cutting checks to vendors that way. The paperwork needed for invoices is a detailed invoice and the purchase request form on Cats Connect. Now, what's the difference between a receipt and an invoice? A receipt is something that's already been paid for. Receipts typically say paid by cash, debit, otherwise. You will submit this for reimbursement and for this to go to the club. An invoice is not paid for. It'll typically say balance due. Both should have an itemized breakdown of the cost of each item. This is an example of what an itemized receipt looks like. It has items and their individual prices, the date, the business name. If you, let's say you go to Target and you end up buying a mix of club things and personal things, it's still okay to submit that receipt. You'll just need to circle the items that were purchased for your club. Non-itemized receipts are typically just showing the total and there's no individual items listed. We do not want those. We want like the one pictured here on the screen. For travel, you must submit the master travel form at least 10 days prior to your trip. You can use the OSE credit card to purchase plane tickets, reserve hotel rooms, etc. And I'll let you know if I need additional information from you. When traveling, we strongly prefer that you reserve vehicles using Enterprise. That way you're covered under the university's collision damage waiver and the insurance policy. If you choose to drive your own vehicles, you are not covered. Gas cards can be reserved for personal or rented vehicles, and there's an online form to request to reserve vehicles and gas cards. Printing. You have two on-campus options through Blank Canvas, which is run through the bookstore, and University Printing. Blank Canvas will take your order, and then OSE will run down and pay with our credit card. Please let us know if we need to pay a balance on your behalf. University Printing will auto bill you, and you'll need to have this set up prior to making your order. Typically, they'll let you know that you need to get in contact with me. Any off-campus printing you will need to be reimbursed for. Food. The sub does have rules for catering. If your event is under 40 people, you are not required to use catering. If your event is larger than 40 people, you must use catering. Catering will send you an invoice, and then you'll need to submit it just like a regular invoice through Cats Connect using the purchase request form. You cannot tip more than 18%. This is a university rule. If you're submitting an invoice with food on it, you will need to also include a flyer or a list of attendees. The 1099-N tax form. This applies to clubs that use their funding to pay for speakers or independent workers for services. If the amount is $600 or more during a tax year, this is something you'll need to fill out and give to the payee. If you need help with this, ASMSU Legal Services is happy to help you for free. Remember, OSE will not pay speaker invoices anymore, only if we can pay with a credit card. Terminated options. University's policies changed this year, and all gift cards paid with university dollars that are given to university employees must be taxed. This includes student workers. So if you purchase gift cards for somebody in your club and they are a university employee, your organization is responsible to pay, your organization would be responsible to pay for their payroll taxes. Student fee dollars cannot be used to pay taxes. So that is why we changed that. You can use your own personal club money to purchase gift cards, just not student fee dollars. Paying invoices. As I mentioned earlier, we will pay invoices if we can, for off-campus vendors, if we can pay over the phone or online somehow. If a business can't take payment over the phone, you will need to pay and then submit the receipt for reimbursement. Okay, now I will go through the steps to fill out a payment or purchase request form. So after you log in with your NetID and password, you will find your organization here and then go to the Manage side. Click the pancake menu, scroll down to finance. As you know, you can view previous funding applications to see what you asked for in those funding applications. Any current purchase requests will be right here, and you can see your current account balance as well. But I spent some money on some t-shirts, so I'm going to click create new request and then create purchase request. Here is where I will add what I bought. So club shirts. Now, if you specifically asked for t-shirts, you can actually remove that from your budget or take that money portion from your budget just by clicking populate budgets. And usually you would see that here, but in this case I don't. It's not required for you to do that, but it might be something nice for you to keep track of your finances. And the requested amount, say I spent $500. And then choosing a category. Try your best with this. I know there's a lot of options here, but typically with t-shirts and stuff, general supplies would fall under that. You can see that t-shirts is listed there. So we'll click that. And then you can choose which account you want it from. Now this will come in handy when, if the time comes that you have both rolling or mass and matching funding, because those are two separate accounts. And so you can choose which account you want it to come out of. All right. Payee information, you can actually skip this part. This is, unless you are filling out for an invoice, that information will go here. And then this additional information section is where you answer the additional questions that we need to know about your receipts. You get the opportunity to upload flyers, attendee lists, and the actual receipts. So just to go through these, I didn't purchase food or drink, so I said no. But if I did, this is where I would upload the picture of a flyer or Facebook advertisement to show that it was open to the public, or this is where I would upload my list of attendees. This is not for travel, but if it was, this is where you would find the master travel form link to fill that out. No. And then if you do end up giving purchasing prizes for a club event, we would need to receive a confirmation with this exactly. I, Randy Myers, received a t-shirt from the Champ Fan Club on August 28th. Like that's what we would need, and you can upload screenshots of that stuff there. Or you can email those confirmations to us as well. This is where you would upload the receipt information. So I ordered the shirts from Custom Ink. And I am seeking reimbursement. And then this is where I get the opportunity to upload the file of the receipt. And you can see that it accepts all of these file types. So I upload that there. If I have a second page or backside to the receipt, we have that option here. And then if this is the first time that my club is seeking a reimbursement, you'll also need to submit a W-9 form. But if you have any questions about that, you can come see me or Ambika. But this is not the first time, so I'll just click no. And I don't have any other receipts, so I can skip these 2 sections. This form will allow you to upload 3 receipts if you need to. If you have more than 3, you'll have to make another purchase request. And so then I click submit request, and then I'm done. Let's see. I'm gonna actually upload a file here so I can show you what it looks like. Then I click submit. And you can see under the purchase request section, there is the one that I just filled out, and I can go in and review it. And you can check the status on it as well. So you can see the stage history is here, and if it is approved, it'll say right here. But that's it. This is a nice little thing to take a screenshot of, or save this picture from the PDF file of the slides of this presentation. These are all the things that you will need for turning in each different type of spending. Miscellaneous topics. If you have an Alumni Foundation account, you just spend it in the exact same way that you normally would. I will take care of all the back end stuff, so you don't have to worry about that. If you're working with your department, like splitting a payment for conference registrations or anything like that, please prearrange that with me first. And this is a reminder for everyone, you are responsible to file your taxes with the IRS every year. If you need help getting started, please contact me. ASMSU Legal Services will meet with student organizations and waive the $10 fee. Here are some frequently asked questions. Please pause to read them through. And part 2. Here's some important paperwork you might need and how to get it. And that's the end. This is our contact info. Please reach out to us if you have any questions. Thanks for watching.